Coming up on 5 Minute News. Democrats plan lightning Trump impeachment as Twitter bans the president. Biden to unveil trillions in pandemic economic relief spending. And London declares a COVID emergency. It's Saturday, January 9. I'm Anthony Davis. Democrats in Congress laid plans on Friday for swift impeachment of President Donald Trump, demanding decisive, immediate action to ensure an unhinged commander-in-chief can't add to the damage they say he's inflicted or even ignite nuclear war in his final days in office. With less than 2 weeks until he's gone, Democrats want him out now, and he has few defenders speaking up for him in his own Republican Party. Meanwhile, Twitter banned Donald Trump's account on Friday, citing the risk of further incitement of violence following the deadly insurrection at the U.S. Capitol on Wednesday. Twitter has long given Trump and other world leaders broad exemptions from its rules against personal attacks, hate speech, and other behavior. But in a detailed explanation posted on its blog on Friday, the company said recent Trump tweets amounted to glorification of violence when read in the context of the Capitol riot and plans circulating online for future armed protests around the inauguration of President-elect Joe Biden. Banning Trump entirely was a big step for the company, a decision it avoided taking until the president was a lame duck, and its larger rival, Facebook, already banned him indefinitely. The final days of Trump's presidency are spinning towards a chaotic end as he holes up at the White House, abandoned by many aides, top Republicans, and cabinet members. Nancy Pelosi said she'd spoken with the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, to discuss available precautions for preventing an unstable president from initiating military hostilities or accessing the launch codes for nuclear war. She said Milley assured her long-standing safeguards are in place. This unhinged president could not be more dangerous, Pelosi said, of the current situation. The Democrats are considering lightning-quick action. A draft of their articles of impeachment accuses Trump of abuse of power, saying he willfully made statements that encouraged and foreseeably resulted in imminent lawless action at the Capitol. The articles are expected to be introduced on Monday, with a House vote as soon as Wednesday. Only if Trump were to be impeached by the House and convicted by the Senate would he be prevented from running again for the presidency in 2024 or ever holding public office again. He would also be the only president twice impeached. US President-elect Joe Biden said Americans need more economic relief from the coronavirus pandemic now, and that he will deliver a plan costing trillions of dollars next week. He said the proposal includes relief for state and local governments grappling with the pandemic, as well as new support for people who lost their jobs or cannot afford rent. Biden also called for raising the minimum wage to $15, a campaign promise, and for sending out $2,000 in direct cash payments. Biden's transition team also said that they're looking into other economic relief actions they can take unilaterally, including extending a pause on repayments of federal student loans. Addressing reporters in his home state of Delaware, Biden noted that a key reason he ran for president was because he'd thought for a long time that President Trump wasn't fit for the job. He's one of the most incompetent presidents in the history of the United States of America. His comments laid bare the political balance Biden has worked to strike in the months since winning the presidential election. He's continued to sharply criticize Trump and nearly every facet of his administration, but also worked to keep the public's attention focused on what the new administration will do rather than indulging recriminations against the last one. Biden nonetheless conceded that Trump exceeded my worst notions about him. He's been an embarrassment, and likened the damage done to our reputation around the world to tin horn dictatorships. With COVID-19 surging and vaccinations off to a slow start, President-elect Biden will rapidly release most available vaccine doses to protect more people, his office said on Friday, a reversal of Trump administration policies. Biden has indicated his displeasure with the progress of vaccinations. "I think the way it's being done now has been very, very sad," he said at his news conference. The Trump administration's Operation Warp Speed has delivered vaccines to the states, he said, but did not get them from those vials into people's arms. The United Kingdom recorded its highest daily death toll on Friday since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, as London declared a major incident, warning that its hospitals were at risk of being overwhelmed. With a highly transmissible new variant of the virus surging across Britain, Prime Minister Boris Johnson has shuttered the economy and is rushing out vaccines faster than the country's European neighbours in a bid to stem the pandemic. The Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, has in effect declared an emergency in the capital as it grapples with a soaring number of coronavirus cases, and hospitals struggle to cope with the influx of patients. Khan declared a major incident in his dual role as mayor and chair of the London Resilience Forum. With COVID cases in London now exceeding 1,000 per 100,000 people, Khan urged Londoners to stay at home. In a statement, the mayor said he declared a major incident because the threat this virus poses to our city is at crisis point. If we do not take immediate action now, our NHS could be overwhelmed and more people will die. Khan has written to Boris Johnson to seek extra powers, such as closing places of worship and to require masks to be worn in crowded outdoor places, such as supermarket queues. He's also asking for more financial support for people unable to work because they are self-isolating, and daily data on vaccinations. The London Ambulance Service is taking up to 8,000 emergency calls a day, compared with 5,500 on a normal busy day. You can subscribe to 5 Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5 Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5 Minute News is an Evergreen podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.